Hello, everyone. Hello. Oh, goodness. Sorry, it took me a second to get on here. Child, let me tell you, it's a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs right now. Okay, we're going to let some people let the notification go out. It's been a minute since I've been live like this. I wanted to come and chat. Let me move this out of the way. Come and chat with you guys a little bit about the upcoming full moon on May 26th. And I know it's a little early. Hey, Ceresia. I know it's a little early. Not really, for us to talk about this. This is kind of a major one with some of the other aspects as they're occurring. And I wanted to talk about not just the full moon, but also about Saturn, about Pluto, and about, oh gosh, Mercury retrograde as well, all at the same time. Now let's hope and pray. Yep, this is going to work. All right. Can you guys see this okay? I might need to zoom in a little bit, and if I do, I can. Bear with me 1 second, gang. Hold on. All right, that's better. All right, now we can see. All right, guys, let's get to talking about this. Hey, Elizabeth. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit more about what's going on here. I've got some notes over here too, you guys, so, don't mind me as I look at my notes. This full moon on May 26th is a super flower blood moon. Don't do that. Super flower blood moon. Okay. It's not the brightness. It's a super moon because it is at one of the closest positions one can get, the moon can get to in as it's orbiting the Earth. Okay, sorry, I'm just a little distracted, so I just want to be sure I've got everything together here. Okay, perfect. It's the closest it's gonna get to the Earth, right? So what happens? That's when it's a supermoon. When it's also a lunar eclipse, which makes it a blood moon. Well, it's usually a blood moon, because what happens is the moon is over here, the Earth is here. So let's just say the moon is here, or here's the moon, and then the Earth is here. Bigger, bigger, bigger. And the sun is here. Okay? So what happens, I want you to understand this. What happens when you have a blood moon? This happens when you have a lunar eclipse. This is lunar eclipse. Okay? When you have a blood moon, what happens is because the Earth is in between the sun and the moon, what happens is that the only light then that reflects onto the moon comes from the Earth's atmosphere. Okay? That's the only way the light. So light comes from here, from the sun. It enters into the Earth's atmosphere. But because the sun is not directly, like the Earth is in the way, the atmosphere itself will bend the rays of light and do different things to the rays of light before they get to the moon. Now, this is going to become really interesting really quick. Okay? This is not happening till May 26th, guys. May 26th at 6:13 a.m., I think is the p.m. maybe. May 26th, 2021. The reason why this is important, I want you all to know that, is because the sun's rays are the rays of light. What happens is the air molecules in the Earth's atmosphere basically scatter out or filter out most of the blue light. And then the dust, depending on how much dust particles, depending on the amount of dust particles in the Earth's atmosphere at the time, so the amount of earth in the Earth's atmosphere, that will determine just how red this sun becomes. Okay, this moon becomes. So the more dust in the air, the redder the moon. The more blood-like the moon is. The less dust, the less red, the less blood, the less red hue. That's significant to me because listen to what's happening. The air particles in the Earth's atmosphere is filtering out blue light. Now, blue light tends to be your throat chakra, right? Sometimes people will say there's an indigo hue, right, to your third eye and your crown chakra. But blue is primarily the color of your throat chakra. Blue is also a color of spirit, of water, of flow, right? It's all of these things put together. Red then becomes the color. What happens is the particles of the earth in the Earth's atmosphere then project red light, which tells me we should be very cognizant of the things that are in our root chakra. The energy that's hitting our root, our foundations, all of these things, our structures, all of this at this super blood full moon. There's only 2 full moons, 2 lunar eclipses in this whole year. This is the first. The second is in November. So this is a time for us to examine our foundation. What do we still have within our foundation? What might need to be removed from our foundation? What our foundational beliefs and changes may or may not need to be. All of this plays a role in what we're to be looking at. Also, it's a flower moon because this is the time of year where we get a lot of flowers that are in bloom. Pardon me while I go ahead and turn this off because I'm done. Don't want to hear it anymore. Okay. There's, the flowers bloom. The earth is very fertile. All of this. Your earth, your root chakra is very fertile. So pay attention. Pay attention to what seeds you're putting into your ground. Now, let's talk about the astrology. This is the first, like I said, of 2 lunar eclipses. This lunar eclipse, because we also have some other major things happening, and again, I've got all these notes here, so just pardon me. This is your astrological chart. Here we've got, right, sun, moon. The moon is going to be very close to the south node in Sagittarius. This is a full moon in Sagittarius. You're going to want to revert back to very familiar things and very familiar people. You're going to want to revert back to very familiar relationships, networks, because it's going to be comfortable. This full moon, though, is asking you to reevaluate those things that have thus far been very comfortable to you. And I can show you in other areas where that is the case as well. We also, by this point, will have Saturn in retrograde. Saturn goes into retrograde, on the 23rd of May. 5/23, Saturn goes into retrograde. Okay? In Aquarius. This is all about consolidation. This is about readjusting of different social structures. It's in Aquarius. So this is going to make us question and potentially distrust our relationships. It's also going to make us question our governmental situations, what's being told to us by media, what's being told to us by external meaning anything outside of us, information. That can be government, that can be civil, that can be whatever. Okay, that could be your job, that could be whatever. You're going to begin to look at things, and you should be beginning to bring in a tad bit of, I've got to review what the heck is going on. It could potentially also make you feel like you're being judged by others. Because this is going to be in Saturn in retrograde is going to be in sextile with the moon. So what's happening here is at a full moon, we always want to release. There's all this examination. There's all this stuff going on. We're thinking. This Saturn retrograde, highly potent, highly karmic. If there are things that have happened to you, things you have done, whatever, karma is coming to visit the doorsteps. We're already seeing it while we're in the shadow period of Saturn. If you're paying attention to anything in pop culture or whatever, or even just regular culture, you've already begun to see divorces, people's information all of a sudden like, oh, this is how you've been moving this whole time? You've been hiding this information over here? Oh, this is how you've been lying on so-and-so? Oh, this who you knew? Oh, this is how you've been doing people? Like, you are seeing it. You're probably seeing it even in your own life. This is what goes around, comes around. And this is the time where you had better examine yourself. You had better do some self-examination and self-study to see, first of all, what relationships are no longer working for you. Maybe they were before, but they're not working now. How are they really playing in your life? How are they really adding to your life? And rather than just thinking about it, do something about it. Because if you don't begin to do something about it, especially during this Saturn retrograde period and Plutonian retrograde period, you're going to end up stuck. So if you're not, this is also a time with the moon itself, by the earth being its most fruitful. What I was writing down was light workers at this time need to actively activate and utilize your spiritual gifts. This is a time for you to actively activate your energetic field, your electromagnetic field. This is your time to start to step out into what you are meant to do. This is your time to sow the seeds of purpose and sow the seeds of completing your mission. Eclipses usher in an evolutionary stage for us. They illuminate the unconscious feelings and buried karma. It comes to the surface during a lunar eclipse, full moon especially. Earth casts its shadow onto the moon. So you must begin to think about all the things. You are going to be reviewing the things not only that you've done, that have been done, how you're feeling about it, and honest to God. You have got to finally face it head on and stop dilly-dallying. Stop with the I'm not sure. Stop with the maybe next year. Stop with the I don't know if this is the right time to start this. Stop it. It's time for you to look at it and what is it doing for you? What karma are you creating by remaining in the status that you're in right now? This is time to have a reset of your emotional and energetic cycle. This is a reset. That's what this is. This is a moment for you to say, I'm going to hit the reset button and go back and do something different. This is also a time for you to trust the direction of change. When you begin to hear from your higher self, this is what you must do to change and how you must change. And it is time for reflection and forgiveness. I want you to also recognize that Saturn in retrograde, by the time of the full moon, will also be trining the sun and trining the north node. So that's going to give you the ability to have the courage and think it through how the change needs to happen and how to redirect your life. Thank you, Sunny. How to redirect your life. This is going to give you this illumination. The North Node in Gemini, as the sun comes conjunct, is giving us the empowerment to say, I can do it. I know I need to change my mindset in order to do it. I know I need a mindset shift, an auric shift, an energetic shift, right? And a sight shift. Change my stinking thinking. Now, with Saturn here, though, in retrograde, you might find it difficult to follow up on certain plans. So you're going to have to be very good with your time management. This is another area. This is a very strong introspective situation we got going on here. Aspects. Introspection will enable you to carry out the projects. So Saturn gives us a time to review. Hey, Jock Tank. Saturn gives us a time to review and then move forward. Review, plan, dig up the old crap, put the new stuff in. I wrote down here karma, karma, karma. We're going to see global karma. We're going to see governmental and country karma. We're going to see spiritual karma. The chickens are coming home to roost. The roosters are coming home to roost. You're going to see the results of things, of seeds that have been sown by people. There's a verse in the Bible that says, revenge is mine, saith the Lord. You don't have to go and exercise the karma. You don't have to go and enact it. You're going to see it happen. That can, on a global scale, end up bringing a rather dark scene. And I say that because we're going to see people having to pay prices for certain things. And we're going to see the results of what people have been doing in the dark come into the light. And some of that you're not going to want necessarily. You're going to be like, I don't really want to see this. But you're going to have to. I didn't really want to know it. But it's time for you to know, beloved. You can't just keep sitting here not knowing. You cannot just keep sitting here not knowing. Things must be revealed to you so that you know how to move. Things must be revealed to you so that you know how to where to put your energy and how to direct it. You must see it so that you can rise above it to observe it. Okay? You must see it and elevate yourself to a point of neutrality. Pardon me. You also may notice, I've heard that there's been some throat chakra issues going around with everybody. I think that's some of my stuff too. They don't want us to speak, but we're going to speak anyway. This is also time to re-examine the importance of the divine masculine. Now I'm going to put it to you like this. We have been in this pendulum swing with the divine feminine for quite some time. And we're still in that swing because there needs to be equality. But what I hear over and over again and repetitively is that without the masculine, the feminine is incapable of fertility. Without the feminine, the masculine is incapable of creation. So these two must begin to come into balance. And this is a good time to re-examine the need for some level of structure. The structure is becoming different. It is changing. It is evolving. But that doesn't mean there's not a need for structure. It's just going to be constructed differently. And there must be a divine masculine component in that. If you really think about it, Aquarius is a rather masculine energy. And then we have Saturn, which is its, first ruler, right? Uranus is the second. So it's like, hey, understand I'm important here. The other aspect Saturn is going to be making is it's going to be squaring Taurus, Uranus and Taurus. Squaring Uranus and Taurus. And loosely trining, and I say loosely by sign, Venus and Mercury both in Gemini. Now Mercury will be in its shadow retrograde period, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute because that's a very important aspect we've got going here. So again, what do you love? What do you truly love? What do you truly want to do? What do you know your true mission is? Because that's what's making your heart sing. How can you achieve that? Change your intellect, change your mindset, change your thought pattern. Change how you're looking at what you're destined to do. This is no longer a situation where we can sit here and say, well, maybe. No. Yes. Hello. You must do it. We've also got Mars and Cancer right here. And it is basically kind of sitting out here on an island almost, although it's sextiling Uranus in Taurus. But it's saying it is time to create your sacred space. It is time to create your sacred self, to unleash your sacred self, to unleash your divinity. We're going to talk about, because I'm going to do another retreat here at the end of June. I'm going to give you guys a little taste of it, and we're calling it Unleash Your Divine. And I decided on that 2 weeks ago, and now I see why. It is time to unleash the divine and create the sacred space, the divine space within, and bring it out to the world. It is time to restructure your roots and restructure your foundation in the third dimension, that it is dependent upon the higher dimensions and led by the higher dimensions. Do you see? So because of that, we've got to get our fertile ground ready. And Mars in Cancer is giving us, if you feel like you've been in your fields for a hot second, baby, this is why. Because you're like, I'm tired of the BS. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of being on the sideline. I'm tired of all of that. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I am ready to get into my purpose. And this is saying to you, listen, I don't care what your mama said. I don't care what your daddy said. I don't care what the government says. I don't care what your religion says. I don't care what anybody else says. But what is in your divine nature? What did you say you were going to do in this incarnation? And it is time to get off the schneid and get off your booty and get moving. Stop making excuses. I can't do this because of this. I can't do that because of that. If you need money as an energetic source, then why aren't you manifesting it? Quantumly, look at what you're doing. Come on, stop playing. Look at what you're doing. What is your foundation? Because the collective consciousness is saying there's more than enough everywhere. There's abundance. Why aren't you manifesting it? If you're meant to be a healer, why are you not out here healing? If you're meant to be a teacher, why are you not out here teaching? The technologies are changing. How we deliver the esoteric and the message is changing, has been changing, will continue to change. You got to ride that wave. That's part of what we're doing over here with Pluto. But Pluto is already in retrograde in Capricorn. And I haven't even touched on Jupiter. Pluto in retrograde. By the way, Saturn will be in retrograde from the 23rd of May through October 1. So that's how long you got to get your ish together and realize what is not serving you any longer and move the on. Lord help us all. And investigate, study, learn about what might be new to you, but is ancient information. This is also a time for ancient and occult wisdom, occult meaning hidden, coming to the forefront. And we're teaching this again, the wisdom and the magic, if you will, of the ancients, because the end is the beginning is the end. This all needs to be resurrected and implemented in this time frame so we can take the next evolutionary step. Pluto in retrograde from 427 to 10:6. Now, Pluto is only going to be moving about 2 degrees backwards in Capricorn. So it's not going out of that third decan. It's hanging out right here at that end. It is in retrograde and it's bringing us clarity on what's not working for us. Do you see a theme here? Everything here is bringing clarity to what's not working for you. So if you decide, starting in this lunation, to continue to ride out with what is not working for you over the next month, 2 months, what have you, if that's your decision, please don't, I don't want to hear it. Because the energy, the 5D evolutionary energy to bring us up to our next stage is all saying, it's all aligning to help you get clarity on what in the hell ain't working. It is time out for you to continue to sit here and say, I'm going to do the same thing over and over and over again, and maybe next time I'm going to get a different result. No. No, ma'am. No, sir. That is the definition of insanity. And if you want to get stuck in that cycle, stay in that mess through October. Stay in there. Now, it is transform or get stuck. That's what I put here. On June the 5th, now this is after this lunation, on June the 5th, it's going to make a T-square with the moon and Mars. So basically between now and June 5th, you have a fabulous opportunity to get moving and get to transforming. Because at that point, it's a good chance you're going to start paying for slacking. Get to work. Mercury goes into retrograde it's in shadow right now. Mercury goes fully into retrograde on 5/29, but it is in shadow now. It is preparing us for this. Mercury in retrograde helps us adapt and integrate our new reality. So it's preparing us to be able to adapt and integrate, it's in Gemini, our new reality. This year, every Mercury retrograde is going to happen in air signs. Air accelerates movement. It accelerates the changing of the use of our technology. It accelerates the reformatting, gathering and presenting and implementation of new ideas. It also increases our critical thinking skills towards external sources. So it's going into retrograde on the 29th, and it will be fully out of retrograde after it'll go stationary direct, I believe. June 22nd, stationary direct. Now, so this is preparing us to integrate the new realities that we're creating. I don't want to hear y'all talking about Mercury retrograde and your electronics no more. That's 3D thing. That's 3D astrology. I don't want to hear about it can impact short-term travel. I don't want to hear it. I want you to access what it can do for you in the higher realms. Will it do that on a normal, everyday basis? Yeah. But if you want to continue living in the normal, everyday, in the 3D, you continue to do so. I, for one, am choosing to jump a timeline. And y'all going to jump the timeline with me, or you going to sit here? Let me know. Also, we have Jupiter that's just entered into Pisces, and it's joining Neptune. Neptune at 1 and Jupiter at the front end. Jupiter, some of you may or may not know, is also was the original ruler of Pisces. So it is happy-go-lucky at home. Okay? It's at home. So the two rulers of Pisces have joined forces in that sign. Expansion of hidden knowledge, of spiritual wisdom, of intuitiveness, of all things esoteric, of all things metaphysical, galactic visitations, expansion of your horizons, expansion of your territories. Okay? Expansion, expansion, expansion. This is your time to gain new knowledge of the ancient ways. This is your time to be in touch with your ancestry. This is your time. If you haven't gotten an Akashic and Galactic record reading, go to my website. Sarisa, can you put my website information in there? And it's down in the description. Book an Akashic and Galactic record reading with me. When I put the information up for you to go on and tap into the Unleash Your Divine retreat at the end of June, you're going to want to sign up for that. It is time for us to recognize and have the gnosis of who we are. As a divine, sovereign being, and all of this is conspiring and coalescing to allow us to do so, to be introspective and retrospective, to clear old karma, to gain understanding of generational, ancestral issues, cut them, release them, cancel those old contracts, and start fresh. This is what this is doing. But, beloveds, you have to take the accountability to go on and look at it for yourself. This is not judgment. We all had to arrive at this place at this time through various whatever. We've all had our stuff to go through. I am not judging you, right? This isn't a Saturn in retrograde. Don't take it personal. I'm not judging you. I'm saying take an honest look at where you are without judgment. Be neutral, and then say, I'm going to change. And then say, I'm going to move. And then say, I'm going to do what I got to do to get out of where I'm at and to fulfill my purpose. This is the time for introspection and then action. Because we're entering into the season where if you think you've seen some UFOs up until now, baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. We're just starting to get galactic visitors. Huh? Hello? We're just starting. It's just getting fun. This whole thing gets more topsy-turvy and more turbulent the higher we raise our vibrations. But the choice is yours to look and see what's serving you. And if it ain't serving you, let's figure out what to do with it and get rid of it and move forward. And then to set your new reality into place and begin to integrate your new gnosis, your new reality, your new energy, your newfound, your remembered, bringing back your members, your new remembered aspects of self and reconstruction of divinity. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. I only want to stay on for just about 35 to 40 minutes. We're doing good. Do look for an announcement very soon and put these dates down. Mark your calendars for June 26th and 27th of 2021 from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time. It will be Unleash Your Divine. I am putting together a divine box that is just going to blow your mind with Oregon crystal pyramids, with Reiki cube crystals, with incense, with tarot and oracle decks, all sorts of lovely things and much more to assist you in elevating and unleashing your divinity. We're going to be talking about your get topics like sacred geometry. We're going to be doing topics like your light language, activating that, astral travel, astral viewing, astrology from a 5D perspective. We're also going to be doing your psychic abilities, tuning into focusing and actually releasing and walking in your psychic abilities. I've got a wonderful student of mine that's going to be teaching that. She's fabulous. So it's a 2-day thing. And just please mark those dates down. I'm telling you right now, the event's going to be $333 plus shipping, and we're going to set it up where you can do some payments. So mark those dates down. I'll be putting out the links for that event very shortly. You do not want to miss this. You do not want to miss this, because you're going to need to go into July and the rest of the year walking in your divinity so you can jump those timelines and live a high-dimensional spirit-led life. And again, if you want to book an Akashic or Galactic record reading with me, or you want more information on our spiritual counselor, energy healer certification program, go to the Linktree link down below and book that with me or with one of my members of the team. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. Namaste.